We're live. Yeah, sorry about that. I fucked up. Oh, fucking. Now I can chill. I can relax. Now the comments are on the screen. I can chill and just have a good time. I was stressing, you know, because you lot can't see. There's a load of like things that you have to click. It's not really interesting, but yeah, man. How's everyone doing, man? Sorry about the fuck up. Is that Coogan's baby? Nah, she's split up with her dad, you know, that kid. So she's a single mum now, you know, Rosie Webster. So she's kind of, I don't want to sound horrible, but she's kind of gone down a few levels, you know, being a single mum. And I feel a bit harsh saying that, but you have to get it out there, you know. You have to talk to your daughters, innit, you know, and try and prevent them from being a single mum, because it'd be hard for them to find a good man, you know, like Andrew Tate or someone like that. But yeah. Harvey Price versus Derek Chisora. Who you got? I want to see what Chisora's like in 10 years. You know, he's kind of functioning at probably 70% now, but you know, in 10 years, he might have really fucked up. You know, all these punches. But it's up to him, innit? He's a grown man, so it's not really our fucking problem. Thanks for his time. I'm at rock bottom. Well, what's up? What's the matter, man? I was watching a video of, have you ever heard of a guy called Joe Rogan? He was interviewing David Hoggins. And this guy said, like, you know, when you're depressed, you should be. Because the reason you're probably depressed is because you're fat. Or you're broke, you know what I mean? So fucking go to the gym, innit? And like, get a little hustle going on. Do a bit of streaming like this, you know, it's easy money. Yeah, whatever. Just casual, innit? Cigarettes are worse for you than spliffs, I know. I only really smoke when I do lives though. Just chills me out, man. You see me panicking because I fucking forgot to put the comments on the screen. And I was kind of like a bit on edge, but now I'm chilled, now I'm calm. Tyne, how did you rate BTK in your list of favourite serial killers? How did you rate BTK? Who's that? I don't know who that is, you know. BTK. I've been watching some videos of who was I watching? Which murderer was I watching? I told you about Harold Shipman, innit? I told you about that already. It was someone else. I think it was Fred and Rose West. And yes, Crash Bandicoot. Did you like watch that KSI interview? You know, with Krug, and I ain't seen it yet, you know. Let me just have a quick look. Just play it for a little bit. Can you hear my stomach rumbling? I don't like it. Did you hear that? And the mic's right next to my stomach as well, so you could probably hear my disgusting insides rumbling. Just had some chicken and chips. Play this. I got Someone messaged me yesterday, you know, my advisor, Al Ayman, you know, asking me if I wanted to go to this KSI press conference. And I said, oh, it's a bit short notice, you know, but I need to get involved. I need to get in the mix. I should have gone, you know, to London to try and talk to this guy here. I need you lot to spam, you know, his manager, Mams Taylor's inbox, you know, and tell him to put me on his show. You know, one of them YouTube boxing shows. There's one in January. There's one in February. I need to fucking get on one of them, man.
Cassius Rifle TV proudly sponsored by Everlast. We're at the press conference here ahead of January the 14th show at the OVO Arena between KSI and Dylan Dennis. Yeah. Joined by KSI. First of all, mate, how are you?
I'm good, chill, relaxed. Just finished the press conference and yeah, relaxed.
Okay, let's kind of address first of all.
Is that laugh real or what? Is it just like entertainment? You know, Friends. They play like laughter, you know, in the background, but it's like an audio track, you know, where like they press a button, the directors of the show. They press a button when something funny, that's supposed to be funny, happens, and it's like laughter in the background, you know, to try and encourage people who are watching to laugh. So I'm wondering if KSI is doing that as well, because he just said something and he just laughed in it and it wasn't really that funny.
KSI and Dylan Dennis. Yeah. Joined by KSI. First of all, mate, how are you?
I'm good, chill, relaxed. Just finished the press conference and yeah, relaxed.
That's not funny, is it? I'm laughing now because it's not funny, if you know what I mean. It's
Okay, let's kind of address first of all a no-show from Dylan Dennis today. Yeah. So just talk to me through that. When did you realise or know or notified that he wasn't going to be here today?
Yeah, I knew before the press conference. Well, I knew on the day or yesterday that he missed the flight, and then I heard today before the press conference that he wasn't going to be able to make the video call as well. So
I'm going to be honest, I'm hoping he pulls out, you know, so I can step in at the last minute. I used to do that in my boxing career, you know, step in at the last minute. That's what I did with Eubank, you know, 4 days notice.
So, I mean, I don't know what mind games.
No excuses.
But it hasn't affected me, so.
Yeah, it's disappointing because obviously the first time you guys are in this situation ahead of the 14th in a different setting to what you was last time out, it is disappointing, I suppose, when we don't have that kind of interaction between you two on there. But it's one of those things.
Yeah, I mean, it's something that's out of my control. You know, when there's things that I can control, then yeah, like I make sure it's always at the best of my abilities. But yeah, but, you know, with him just not showing up, it's just, it is what it is. But I'm not fazed. You know, I'm still training. I'm still ready. I'm still excited to get in that ring and just break his face. And yeah, and there's not really much he can do to stop that.
Hold on a minute. Someone's just sent me a message who's watching. Danny Waitley. What's happening? BTK full confession. Very interesting to watch. BTK stood for bind, torture, kill. Thumbs up emoji. Yeah, man. I like a bit of murder and torture.
An element of doubt.
Yeah, I've just done a video before I started this live. Yeah, I've done a video. It's called the top 5 scumbags in boxing. Yeah. It's going to be an interesting little watch. I'm just waiting for YouTube to approve ads, you know, before I make it public. But it's decent. Top 5 scumbags in boxing. Who do you think they are?
About him turning up for fight week, etc.
I'll give you a little spoiler. Yeah, Krugan's in the list. He's high up on the list.
So I know you'll have kind of a contingency plan or two, possibly for that week anyway, but just because you've been used to that situation yourself. But are you confident that he will rock up on fight week and get in the ring?
Yeah, I mean, I think there's always going to be doubt because he's definitely, you know, flaked beforehand for, you know, several fights.
I'm on standby. You know, Chris Eubank Jr. He boxed this guy in Sheffield called Tom something. And I was kind of praying, yeah, the guy was coming from Australia or something like that. I don't want to sound harsh, but I was kind of praying that the guy was involved in some kind of aeroplane crash. You know, so I could step in again and try and get my revenge on Eubank Jr., but it didn't happen. But I'm going to be waiting on the sidelines, you know, for this fucking guy to fight, like, to see if his opponent turns up.
That he's had. But, look, if he shows up, I knock him out. If he doesn't show up, I knock someone else out. Simple as that.
Straight to the point.
I think I can beat him. You know, like all the years of sparring with Kell Brook and Johnny Nelson. I think that's given me enough, you know, experience to be able to do this guy in. You know, even though I'm drinking and smoking.
Right now, the card though is for this type of thing in this crossover boxing promotion you're doing with Misfits. It's a very, very interesting card with some very good matchups on it.
Yeah. I think Soul Pappy versus Josh Bruckner. That's going to be a crazy fight. If Soul Pappy wins, he's top 5 because this is going to be Soul Pappy's first real test. I think his last 2 opponents were, you know, I wouldn't say they're top 15.
You know, his brother Dead G, he put up a video the other day of him going to London and like giving people like £100, you know, if they can punch him in the face. He was like moving around. And I used to do that. I did it with Lee Wood and Cash Ali in Nottingham with Brendan Ingle. We went there and we did what Dead G did. You know, just getting random people to hit us in the face or try, and we're just like moving around. So I'm gonna have to start doing that, you know, on camera. You know, get some extra footage going on, you know, on the channel to try and step up.
Let alone top 20 in the whole boxing influencers scene. But Josh Bruckner is someone that many people have avoided fighting, and a lot of people don't want to fight. So if Soul Pappy is able to dispose of him, then yeah, it's a very good.
It's a bit boring, isn't it? Shall I put a murder video?
Idris
Torture.
versus Anthony Taylor as well. That's gonna be a sick fight. I'm hoping Anthony Taylor loses. You know, Idris is working hard. I train with him as well, so you know he's been going in with the sparring, in with the training, and you know he's a very fast fighter. He's able to like really go off the races. So you know we're just working on a few more things with him just to make sure everything is tip-top condition, and then yeah, I think he's gonna absolutely breeze Anthony Taylor, and I think it's about time someone finally knocks Anthony Taylor out, because he's just this annoying piece of work that is just has been around for way too long. And Slim versus Thompson Eddie as well. That's also a very good fight I'm looking forward to. Yeah.
Have you ever heard of oh, look at that. I had a wank the other day, yeah, and I made like a mad face, you know, that I've never made before. The orgasm was like really strong. You know, sometimes you have a nice strong orgasm in it. Sometimes you bust a nut and it doesn't feel that good and it's a bit disappointing in it. But, you know, the other day it was quite a strong one and I made like a similar face to that. You see KSI making that face?
You know, Thompson, I see him like Ryan Taylor, you know, able to just stick it out, take bangs, but also is able to, you know, throw more than Ryan Taylor did against Slim. And, you know, it's whether Slim is able to deal with that. You know, he was able to deal with Ryan Taylor, but, you know, there was times where he struggled. Whereas this time, you know, he's going to have to fight a better Ryan Taylor.
You know, Lawrence Okolie and Eddie Hearn, they've got a bit of beef, haven't they? So, what's going on? There's a little dispute, you know, about the contract. Like, there was supposed to be like a 3-fight contract, yeah? That Lawrence Okolie signed with Eddie Hearn. Lawrence was supposed to fight this guy called Glowacki. The fight fell through. So Lawrence Okolie boxed this bum for half the money that he would have got for Glowacki, yeah? So he had 3 fights, so he kind of fulfilled his contract. That's what he's saying. But Eddie Hearn's like trying to say that that fight that he boxed, that bomb that he boxed, we don't know the ins and outs, do we? Did Eddie Hearn go to fucking Lawrence and say, this fight that you're having against this bomb, it doesn't count? The 3 fights that you contracted to fight, this doesn't count. It's just a little extra fight. So you beating this bomb and having those 3 fights, you haven't fulfilled your contract, because the guy that you fought, he wasn't that good. But Lawrence is saying, well, I had 3 fights, that's in the contract, so what's the problem? But he might, I don't know if Eddie Hearn gave him another contract, like a more updated one, to say, and said, sign this, yeah, saying that this fight with this bomb, doesn't count as your 3 fights. So I'm giving you a new contract here. So sign this contract. We don't know the ins and outs, do we? Joshua might have fucked it because Joshua used to manage him, Lawrence Okolie, that 258 management. So they might not have passed on the right. I don't know, man. It's not.
And whether he can do that, it's going to be interesting to see.
Yeah, stacked card, and it's exactly a month away, so not long at all. Just wanted to kind of run through a couple of the points.
Do you think this guy knows who I am? I don't think he does, you know. You know when he boxed that fucking Swarms and I turned up? Part of me was hoping that he'd look at me and say, oh, you're that guy from TFL TV, but there was none of that. He didn't know. He didn't have a clue.
Talking points from the press conference. First of all, the mention of former England footballer Wayne Rooney.
Yeah.
Is there legs in that? Is that serious?
So yeah, he hit me up saying like it was kind of weird. He hit me up at like 3 a.m. in the morning, being like, "Oh, we should fight," and I was just like, "Nah, man, I don't know. I'm kind of just in a different mindset. I think he wanted to do it for like charity and stuff like that, and I'm just there like, you know, I for me the reason why I came back is to knock out Jake Paul. So, you know, me fighting Wayne Rooney isn't really like in my mindset of things to do. You know, maybe after I fight Jake Paul, but at the moment, no. No offense to Rooney, obviously, but like,
yeah, well, you're not fighting Jake Paul though, are you? You're not fighting him yet. You're fighting fucking Dilly and Danny. So why don't you fight Wayne Rooney? You know, in the meantime, because we'd rather see that than fucking that dildo Danny's guy. What do you think? Do you think KSI is being a bit dishonest here?
Where my goal is.
Okay, and the question at the end there was asked quite interestingly about Andrew Tate. We saw Andrew Tate and Jake Paul do that face-off, which we're assuming was just kind of for publicity reasons. But, I mean, have you thought about that? Is that something that could be a potential for 2023, Andrew Tate?
I mean, look, I'm always down to fight anyone. I've always, I've said I wanted to fight Andrew Tate, and, you know, if we were to give him a
what did he say?
contract,
He said he's down to fight anyone. Fight Wayne Rooney then. You just kind of contradicted yourself, man. Coogan's not picking up on any of it, is he? He's a bit slow, Coogan.
he'd literally go, "Oh, I need some."
Coogan's in my list, you know, amongst the top 5 scumbags in boxing. I'm going to put that video up. What time is it? 11 p.m. I might put it up tomorrow, so I've kind of missed the prime time, haven't I?
Some warm up
I've gone live a bit earlier today.
fights. So he's not serious, and I don't know whether it's the money or whether it's clout or whatever reason, but he doesn't fancy himself as much as he thinks he does when it comes to this influencer boxing scene.
Do you think that he will be involved in this at some point? Like I said, we assume that clipping him and Jake put out a couple of months ago was a publicity thing more so than anything else. But do you expect him? You made some points in there that you believe that he doesn't. If he was to lose, then you made that point.
I don't think he is going to touch the space. I don't think he's going to do anything to prove that he is a top G. I think he's just going to stay in his lane and just keep preaching whatever bullshit he wants to preach.
KSI loves Andrew Tate, man. He loves it. He used to do similar content. You know, he'd go up to women in the streets, and ask them about their tits and their pussies and that. So he's still like that. He's just had to kind of go a bit corporate, getting a little deal with Prime and that. So he's sold out, but you can't blame him. Just go where the money is, innit?
Yes.
Okay, moving on from there. I did want to ask you, from the back of the last Misfit show, you got into a Twitter debate, shall we say, or heated debate with Jake Wood about some of his comments.
That's Max Branning off EastEnders.
I kind of briefly spoke to Jake about this. We know that Jake was kind of involved in some of the earlier fights from a few years ago. I think the one...
Coogan was on EastEnders, he was like in the background, innit? Jake Wood, Max Branning, he was like the main actor. So Coogan jealous of him. He tried to you know what I mean?
With you and Joe Weller. So yeah, I just wanted you to make a comment on that.
I was just disappointed at his comments. For someone that was so hugely part of the start of the whole influencer boxing scene for them. For then
Who, Max
him to
Branning?
just
Why was
turn
it?
his back on it and go, "Oh, I don't want to see this. I'm cancelling my whole DAZN subscription." And it's just
DAZN.
like, well, you can keep your DAZN subscription and just watch other things. You don't have to, tweet out saying, this influencer boxing thing is trash. I hate it. Also, I'm deleting my subscription. It was just, I thought it was very cringe, and it was just not a good look. And I had to put him in his place, and that's why we went back and forth. And I told him, like, what you're doing is just not cool. This isn't a good look. And I told him, this is, what we're trying to create.
Can you hear my stomach rumbling? It's a bit.
Create a space where it bridges the gap, or it bridges the
I bought a rubber glove, from Wilco's. Them yellow ones. I bought some of them, and no, it's a bit too much detail in it. It's basically to just clean my arse, innit?
felt like there was this void where
with water.
entertainers, influencers wanted to get into boxing, but there wasn't a platform for them to do it. The people who tried with other boxing organizations, and they'd either get run into the ground and become bankrupt, or just be poorly run or poorly created, poorly made. Whereas now we have Misfits, everything is perfect, we're focused on making sure the fighters are getting, all the focus, and we're making sure it's, a great place for an influencer or social media star to, go through and perform in front of a boxing crowd. So for him then to just shit on it, it's just weird.
He's still talking about Max Branning. Why is he? He's upset, innit?
How
He's fucking triggered him.
Not the phrase, I'm not sure what it is, but when people hate the idea of change, or something happening, they just feel like they have to put their 2 cents to try and stop the change, or say, it was good in the good old days or back in the day. But things evolve, things, change. And I think for him, he just needs to just keep his mouth shut and, stay in his lane and not have to try and degrade or shit on anything else that people are trying to do.
Just the last one on that. The clip that went viral kind of from that fight night, we saw the two fighters.
Chase,
yeah. I'm assuming as you build Misfits, you want to have every fight at a minimal standard of the fighters fighting, etc. But did that clip concern you, watching that and seeing kind of, I suppose you had to have context around watching the whole fight of that, but the clip that went out, if people just watch that, does that concern you?
Well, I mean, there was several clips that went out. There's clips of Walid Sharks versus Dean the Great, and the amazing fighting that they had, and the technical ability that they both had. And
I'm not feeling this.
There was just other fights, and obviously.
Should I put that Lawrence Okolie interview on? That was better, wasn't it? He said that Eddie Hearn said to him, "Listen, if you want to fucking sign a contract with Sky Sports, you better give me £500,000." I liked hearing that. I want to know how much people are getting paid. It's interesting, isn't it? But yeah, this interview's boring, man. Shall I watch something else? True Geordie. You remember when he gave me £100? And then I fucking said, I'll pay you back by being on your channel. I don't think he's tuned in since. I think he just lost interest, in that. In me saying that, I think he's kind of thought, oh man. He's made mistakes, hasn't he? He's fucking... Wait a minute. Yeah, I need to get back to this. Get back to this fucking. Let me get back to these comments. See what I've missed. Yes, Aaron. Thanks for the £2, yeah? €2. Why are you playing this crypto scammer, KSI, clown? Is he a scammer? Why is he a scammer? Mayweather's the scammer. Mayweather's promoting this shit coin called Ethereum Max. You know, to his fans. He was plugging it, you know, because he got a payday, a check from these scumbag crypto creators. And all of Mayweather's, well, a lot of Mayweather's fans bought the fucking coin, yeah. And then it crashed. I think KSI lost about $2 million, you know, on crypto. I don't know if he's a... Put an old episode of Coronation Street on. Let's see Rosie Webster when she was in her prime. You know, that's fucking interesting, isn't it? I think she was about 13 in Coronation Street, man. You saying that's prime, yeah? Prime. I suppose from a biological point of view, you know, they're kind of reproductive, you know, at that age. Well, I'm not like promoting banging 13-year-olds. Have you ever heard of a Meagle? It's like you can chat to people, you know, video chat, like FaceTime people. So I downloaded that today. So, you know, these lives from now on, I'm going to start like talking to random people, you know, around the world on Omegle. But it might be a load of fucking, you know, underage girls on there. But we'll take the risk in it, we'll do it. Yes, Aaron. KSI did pump and dump crypto scams on his fans, did he? I didn't hear about that. I heard about Mayweather doing it, Kim Kardashian. But I didn't know about KSI. I might look into that and do a video about it. Yes, Jones. Is Hamza Shiraz British? He's got a bit of beef with the Skype wanker on it, because the Skype wanker's uncle's managing him. He's managing Hamza Shiraz, and the Skype wanker's uncle robbed the Skype wanker. You know, like how Ricky Hatton's mum robbed Ricky Hatton, her own son. You know, managing him, you know, saying, oh, you're getting £5 million to fight Pacquiao, but you were supposed to be getting $7 million. So Ricky Hatton's thieving old mum, she pocketed $2 million. And then she took her percentage, you know, from the $5 million. So she robbed him, yeah. So I had a go at her on Twitter, innit? Now, she had a go at me first, because I was having a go at Michelle Hall Phelps. And then Ricky Hatton's mum, just out of nowhere, started calling me a loser. So I called her a thieving old slag, you know, for robbing her son, Ricky Hatton. Would Ebony Bridges knock out the Skype wanker? Nah, she's not that good, man. Ebony Bridges, these women, they're not that good. People say, like, women's boxing's really good. You know, it's better than men's boxing a lot of the time. It's not. It's just that these women don't know how to fight. They don't know how to slip. They don't know how to, like, use their upper body movement. They don't know how to use their feet, you know, to get out of the way of punches. They just know how to walk forward and, like, take punches. So it looks exciting because they don't know what they're doing. They're just running into punches. That's why it looks exciting, but they're not good boxers, are they, these women? They just don't know how to box. They don't know how to slip. They don't know how to roll. You know what I mean? So I sparred with a black lesbian, you know, and I fucked her up. She's like a 2-time Olympic gold medalist, world women's champion, and I wasn't even an area champion, and I fucked her up. And I fucked up this other black lesbian, you know, who's like a Olympic medalist. So women's boxing, It's not that good, man. They're basically like the best of a bad bunch. You know, like they can box in their first fight for a world title, you know, and win it. Because there's not much competition out there. So, you know what I mean? You know that Chantel Cameron? She tried to follow me on Instagram the other day. So, she probably unfollow me, you know, after this little attack on women's boxing. But it don't matter. Yes, Yankee Zulu. Thanks for the super chat, yeah? Did you get your little teeth bleached? Where is the fruity ear stud? You know what? I don't wear earrings. Because every time I wear an earring in the lives are dead. I don't know, I'm not really like superstitious, but yeah, every time I wore earrings, I ain't really had the energy to fucking do a good life, you know what I mean? But people are messaging me, telling me to start snorting coke, you know, on the lives, because they said when I was sniffing coke on a live, they said that was the best live so far. So yes, Jay. Do you want to have a family? I don't like the thought of paying child support, you know, like for 18 years. You know, I built up the money, so I don't want to just fucking get some woman pregnant and just lose it all, you know, by fucking... Yes. Yes, Mick, how you doing, man? Thanks for the £1, yeah? Who's top right pick? So Rosie Webster off Coronation Street. It's a good photo, innit? I did well there with that little breastfeeding photo. I remember when I seen a woman on a bench breastfeeding, and I walked past her and I was trying to look at her, innit? And then I like walked around again so I could like walk past her again breastfeeding. So I chose a good photo there, haven't I? I've done some good research, you know, to get that photo, and it's kind of paid off on it. Yes, Tom. Thanks for the super chat, yeah? Yes, Ty. Stay safe. The Beat Live was one of the best, to be fair, yeah. 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 What are you saying? Shall I get some more powder in, you know, for the next live? I'm going to start talking to people, you know, on like FaceTime type thing. This thing called Omegle. You can talk to like randomers, you know, on video. And I put their video, you know, in the shot so you can see them. We'll try and get some women on there, but we'll try not to get any underage ones. Tying any Jermaine Pennant stories. One of you lot sent me a document, you know, like said that Jermaine Pennant's gone bankrupt. And it's quite interesting because, you know, Jermaine, when he was like 15, he got signed by Arsenal for £2 million, which was a record at the time, you know, for somebody that young. And he was getting a load of cash, and he kind of like fucked people off, you know, that he was friends with. You know, back in the days when he was broke, he fucked them off, and he like moved to London, and he started hanging around with like Jermaine Genius and a load of other top rich footballers. And he kind of fucked off, you know, the people who he grew up around. So when I seen that he'd gone bankrupt, it was quite interesting, because I was thinking, you know, if he goes broke and all his little rich mates don't want to hang around with him anymore, and he has to come back to Nottingham, and he might try and befriend the people, you know, who he fucked off when he made it. That'd be an interesting little story. And his dad was on heroin. So it might run in the family, you know, and he might end up on heroin, Jermaine. So it'd be an interesting little story to see him go from setting a record as the youngest guy to get signed for a record fee to becoming a heroin addict and begging people who he fucked off when he made that money to be friends with him again. I'm going to keep my eye on that little fucking... But I don't want to slag him off too much because, you know, my advisor, Al Ayman, he's kind of like booked a studio, you know, in London, you know, for me to do some podcasts. And I wanted to ask Jermaine, you know, if he'd get on the podcast. We can have a little chat about his little rags to riches story. So I don't want to diss him too much. Yes, Craig. £12.95, you know, that's a very specific amount, isn't it? Yes, Tyne, have you ever smoked saliva or DMT? Be safe. No, I ain't, you know, boys. You gotta live, ain't you? You gotta try things, you gotta experiment. You know, if I never tried these lives, if I never got going, if I never tried it, I wouldn't know if I enjoyed it or not. And I've really enjoyed these lives over the year. So it's like trial and error, and if heroin runs in the family, are you gonna do some on the next live? No, not heroin. That's too much, isn't it? It's too much, man. Yeah, let me show you something. I've got this really attractive cousin, yeah, and I want to bang her in it. Yeah, can you see that? Can you see that? I went to my gay uncle's funeral, yeah? And I see my two little cousins. You know the one who sat closest to me? She's like 13 years old. And she's pregnant. She's fucking pregnant, man. Her mum and dad are heroin addicts. And when they were on heroin, her mum, yeah, who was on heroin, she was pregnant with her. So obviously she was like a heroin child. So she's grown up, you know, and she's fucked up. She's pregnant at 13, so it's not good, is it? See Kel Brook there, sat there like that. I've had a few showers with that guy, you know. And he like turned away like that. You know what I mean? He like turned away. He was like hiding his dick. He was like turning away, Kel. I remember seeing him like turning away, you know, in the shower. There's like 2 showers in it. I was in the shower with Kel Brook after a training session. He was like turning away, you know, like holding down there, trying to cover up. What do you think of that? Yes. Where's that story? Hold on a minute. There was a story about the Skype wanker and Kel Brook in the sun. Let me find it a minute. Amir Khan stating Kell Brook is gay hangs dark animosity cloud over pay-per-view. No,
Never think about kid. Nigga, I'm solution.
Hold on a minute. Sorry about that. I tried to play a little clip of Coogan, innit? What's going on there? Hold on a minute, I missed a few super chats here. Let me just scroll back a minute. Yes, Jake Hobbs, $17.99, you know, that's a nice amount, isn't it? How much does YouTube take from super chats? Be safe. They take like 30%. So, that's how much I used to pay Dominic Ingle, you know, to train me. Can you hear that fucking noise? My intestines are going mad. Oh, I forgot to read his, what did he say? Scroll back here. Yes, Big Tail. Thanks for the £2, yeah? Yes, Ty, you've seen the clown that hides from gays. No. Who's that? The last film that I seen at the cinema was this film called It. And you know the start of the film? There was two little fruity men, yeah, walking together, holding hands. And these homophobic men beat the fuck out of these gays. They battered them and they threw one of them in the river, you know, and killed him. So that's a bit homophobic, innit? Shall I wrap it up? We've had a good run, haven't we? We've had a nice little chat. Killer clown. I was watching a video about this man who used to lock women in a toy box. And he used to like torture them, you know, in a fucking toy box. He used to cut off their nipples and stuff. He's a bit hardcore, but it's a good watch. He's a bit of a turn on as well. I was getting a bit turned on. Did you see Connor Bum's little statement? Did you see his little silly statement? It was just fucking... Shall I read it? It was a bit long, wasn't it? It was long, man. He wasn't really saying anything either. It was just empty words, wasn't it? Connor Bomb. That statement was long, man. My team has proven my innocence, and the truth will soon come out. For now, I am looking forward to sharing Christmas privately with my family, and I will be back in January. See you all in 2023, the year I become world champion. Connor Bomb. Nah. That's not the statement. He fucking put out a long statement saying, oh yeah, I'm innocent, you know, my team, they know I'm innocent, you know, fucking blah blah. My dad, he knows I'm clean, you know, he knows I'm a clean athlete. I look forward to proving everybody wrong. It was all empty words, wasn't it? Once tying it's around 50 quid. He always quits the live. Lol. No, come on. Why are you watching my pockets, man? Are you watching how much I'm getting? But yeah, I bought a yellow rubber glove. And like when I've been to the toilet, I sit on the side of my bath afterwards and I fucking turn the tap on, yeah, put the rubber glove on. And I start like doing that, you know, like scraping my arse. Have you ever heard of a gooch? It's basically the part like that's in between like the balls and the arsehole, yeah. And I like do that, you know, with the rubber glove on. I do that, like just scrape, you know, just really fucking, and I keep putting my hand under the tap, and then I scrape my arse again, and I put it under the tap, and I just do that for like 5 minutes. You know, my crack is nice and fresh. How do you lot clean your arse? Do you use dry tissue or you fucking do it properly like I do? I bought some disposable wet wipes as well. Well, you know, the ones you can flush. I used to like, you know, that antibacterial hand wash. I used to get that. I used to squirt that on some wet tissue and I just rub my crack, but you can infect yourself. Where's the video? I think it said it's age restricted, you know. I'm sure it just said it's age restricted. Let me try this again. No, it's age restricted. Oh, that's age restricted as well. Okay, let me just fucking...
What's the cheesiest pickup line you've ever been given?
Oh, can I look through my Tinder real quick?
Are you from Australia? Because you meet all my qualifications.
You know, I'd have to say I've actually been pretty blessed. I haven't been targeted with too many pickup lines, but if there was one, you know, it's the classic, you're the only 10 I see, or are you an angel, you fell from heaven? I mean...
Is this the cheesiest pickup line you've ever been given?
That's a line of tracks. Wear cheese on the back.
What is the meaning behind the expression, save a horse, failure in the bedroom? Why is 8 seconds a triumph in the rodeo, but a failure in the bedroom?
Because you need to last a lot longer in the bedroom than you do on the back of a bull.
Who can get off in 8 seconds? I mean, you're going to make a 50.
Last at least 30 in the bedroom.
30 seconds?
30 seconds. 30 minutes. Okay. 30 minutes. Come on, guys.
Does your fascination with roping end at the rodeo, or does it continue in the bedroom?
It definitely does continue.
Continues for sure.
I'll say it continues.
Okay. Can you name something a woman does that she thinks is a turn on but is really a turn off?
Probably acting dumb.
Yeah, that's
Takes
horrible.
3 hours to get.
That is horrible, you know, when women act stupid, you know, because they think it's like attractive, like, oh, I'm a dumb blonde, you know, I don't know what fucking 1 + 1 is, I'm dumb. You know, it's off-putting. Let's get rid of this guy.
If they're really in your face about it, oh, I care about you so much, sometimes for me, that's a little much.
Do country girls prefer to date country guys?
Yeah, for sure. Because country girls, they want to be with a country guy that can lift their hay for them, or, you know, that has a truck to take them places. Nobody wants a city boy.
What's the difference in country girls and city girls?
Country girls can get in the mud and city girls cannot.
Well, country girls have good morals. They're looking for different stuff. They work and
Shut your mouth.
Dirty city girls, they just like the show.
What is the definition of high maintenance?
My mom.
Do you consider high maintenance to be a red flag?
Yes. High maintenance. If you need more than one suitcase.
Do you consider someone who's high maintenance to be a red flag?
No, not necessarily.
Where is the line between knowing your own self-worth and feeling entitled?
Entitled is when you think you're more than like you're better than everyone else, whereas like self-worth is just you're comfortable in yourself and you know that you're worthy.
Are you more likely to see a high maintenance woman or a high maintenance man?
High maintenance woman.
Why is that?
Because I live with one.
Who do you think is more romantic, men or women?
That's a tough one. Probably a man, because when he really loves a woman, he really goes for it. When women kind of can play games sometimes with it.
What were some of the things you were told about men while growing up?
Don't trust them. Yeah, I agree with that one.
What is the most surprising thing you've learned about men from your experiences?
You can't trust them. Facts.
Do you prefer a man who is a gentleman or a bad boy?
Bad boy. Bad boy.
Is it fair to say women lust after bad boys but want to settle down with nice guys?
Yeah.
I used to prefer bad boy, now gentleman all the way.
What do you find most attractive about a man, and more importantly, how has that changed throughout your life?
Now his heart and how he portrays himself to, be a good citizen to society and just be a good person, morals. Before, it was more of cat and mouse, kind of them chasing me, and that was fun because it was all just games.
What were some of the things you were told about men while growing up?
That they better open the door for you. Open the door, treat you right, be polite.
What's the most surprising thing you learned about men from your experiences?
Most surprising thing I've learned about men is that they don't always do what they're gonna say. I think that's pretty obvious.
A lot of guys aren't raised right. A lot of them are not. They don't have morals and values.
What advice would you give to the women that don't trust men?
I don't trust them either.
They always lie.
You got to lie to women, though. They can't handle the truth. That's why you have to lie to them. If I went up to that woman and said, I don't care what your name is. I don't care what you do for a living. I don't care where you've been on holiday. I just want to fuck you and then get rid of you. You know, how do you think she's going to fucking respond to that? She's not going to like it, is she, really? Realistically, it's not going to work, is it? So you have to lie and pretend to be interested in them. You know, you have to do it. You have to play the game, man. You know, to boss her not.
And most of the time cheat, unless you find that one really great person.
What are your thoughts on the following statement? Men fall in love with what they see, women fall in love with what they hear. That's why women wear makeup and it's why men lie.
Yeah, man, you have to lie, man.
That might be a little true, actually.
Did you see that old woman in the background? She's hating. she's not getting the attention that she got when she was at this woman's age. You know what I mean? She's hit her wall. She's hit the wall. Yeah, she's old. So now she's a bit bitter. You can see. Look, you see her looking like that. She's fucking trying to get in there, but she's not in demand anymore because she's over the hill. You see what's going on there?
That might be a little true, actually. Haven't heard that one, but yeah.
What's the difference between the type of woman men want to sleep with and the type men want relationships with?
I think when a girl automatically on a first date just sleeps with them, gives them the impression, oh, she lets everyone do that. So if they don't do that as often, in my opinion, they see them as more a relationship type and more connecting on a different level instead of just physical.
Do you prefer a man who's a gentleman or a bad boy?
Gentleman.
No,
100%.
they don't.
What are the characteristics of a gentleman?
Opening the door for you.
Being
offering-
polite, offering to pay when he doesn't have to sometimes.
Good guys come last, man.
The little things matter.
Texting you and asking you like, hey, did you make it home safely if you guys were
Okay,
out?
Good morning text, good night text.
Yep.
What's the craziest thing you have done or
They don't really like that, man. They're just saying that. They're just trying to be all politically correct. They don't. When a guy's like chasing after them, saying, "Oh, you're stunning, you're beautiful," you know, these guys putting them up there like on a pedestal. You know what I mean? So if you're putting a woman up there, yeah, she's up there, you're down here, so she'll lose respect for you, man. You have to treat them. I'm not saying like beat the fuck out of them, but all this nice guy business, it's not realistic. It's not gonna work, man.
or has someone done for you in the name of love?
Oh gosh, can this be good or bad?
Either.
Probably destroyed someone else's car for me. Not for me, but someone who I was with.
Do you think people are more likely to be held accountable for their behavior if they live
judging you? And so if you're in a place where you know more people, you're less likely to do things that everyone's going to find out about and judge you for.
Everybody knows everybody, and everybody's dated everybody else, and it's a little harder.
If you happen to be looking for a quality man, where would you expect to find one?
Quality man? Church. Yes, that's...
When was the last time you went to church?
Yeah, you see what
Not
I
at
mean?
a bar.
They look bad guys.
Definitely. I look at universities where I'm at school, or honestly events like this where I'm around like-minded people, and that's usually what I look for.
Do you see my dick there? I've got pants on.
When you meet a man you're interested in for the first time, what is the first question you typically ask?
How they treat their mama.
What's the difference between a man who has a good relationship with his mom and a mama's boy?
Mama's boy is always going to look for his mom's opinion. He never has his own opinion. Someone who treats his mom well, though, and isn't a mama's boy, has respect for his mom and will have respect for you as well.
How would you describe the difference between masculine and feminine energy?
Masculine would be like more assertive and like she said, dominant's a good word. Feminine is more submissive and kind of goes with the flow a little bit easier.
I also think that men have more of a protective, dominant leadership instinct, and women have more of a patient, nurturing instinct.
No, not anymore, you know. It's all changing, isn't it? They're turning men into pussies, man. You know, Frank Maloney, you remember him? He turned into a pussy, didn't he? You know, because of like the kind of shit that they're putting in water nowadays. He's turning men into pussies, man.
Which of the following statements do you think is more true? A man's ideal woman is a bro in the body of a hot chick, or a woman's ideal man is a woman in the body of a handsome man?
The first one for sure.
Why do you say so?
Because, I think guys for sure want something pretty to look at, but they also want someone they can joke around with. And
Because you want to be able to take your girl to the river.
Does a man have to be masculine in order to attract a woman?
I think yes.
Get rid of it.
Does a woman need to be feminine in order to attract a man?
I would say yes, but I know a lot of manly chicks that have that are.
Men will bang anything. It's just a hole in it. It's just it's a piece of meat with a hole in the middle. That's what it is. So some women feel like they're special, you know, because they're getting a load of DMs on Instagram and dating apps. But they shouldn't really feel special, because men will fuck anything, really, won't they?
They're married and have husbands, so.
I'd say in certain areas. You need to be feminine in the right areas.
A lot of country girls are tomboys. Why is society more likely to accept a masculine woman than a feminine man?
That's a great question. I guess I don't know the answer to that. I think a woman being able to do masculine things gives you a broader spectrum of being accepted. So, yeah, what's your thought?
I feel like feminine men are starting to be a lot more accepted. I mean, masculine women have always been accepted because I feel like if you don't have a man in your life, the women have to pull out that masculine role. It's not really balanced when it comes to men. Like, men don't really have to do very many things that are feminine, but women, if you're single or you're alone or you don't have a family, then you have to take on that masculine role a lot more. So I feel like that's why it's a lot more accepted than it is versus men being a little more feminine.
Masculine women are also capable of a soft side, and most masculine, so to speak, women got that way because they were soft and they've had to find a way to take care of themselves or survive the harsh world that we live in. And I think men, were intended to be masculine, obviously. They weren't intended to be feminine. And so it goes back to being able to be that dominant personality, and that's the man's job, is to care for the woman according to the Bible. And so, in my opinion, I think finding a woman that has maybe been more independent and chased her dreams may be considered masculine, but in all reality, it's just an independent woman trying to make her way in this world, where a man being more feminine is a man altering what he's supposed to be.
Why is a feminine man more likely to be seen as gay than a masculine woman would be seen as gay?
That is such a good question. See, I wonder that a lot, because there's a lot of guys, like my boyfriend, for example, he kind of wears like, his fun little like neon outfits, or like for prom, he'll wear like a fun, almost disco type suit. And then everybody at the school is like, oh, is he gay? Are you sure that he's not gay? I'm like, he is very much not gay. But if I show up and I'm wearing, like my boots because I just got out from the barn and my hair is a mess, everybody's like, oh, wow, cool. She's been working on the ranch all day. So that's something that's like a really good question, because I notice that a lot, even in my own life, because my boyfriend is very much straight, but I don't know why there's just such that, oh, okay, you're wearing a little bit more of a neon type clothing, you're gay.
So would you say that there's far more latitude about...
Guys still
Yes.
here.
It is, but it's an acceptable double standard.
Who are your role models?
My mom.
Can you name any public figures?
Public figures that I look up to. I love Dolly Parton. I think she's a great activist in a lot of different communities, and she's very passionate about what she does.
Are Kim Kardashian and Cardi B good role models?
No, sir, they are not.
Terrible role models.
Why does our mainstream media promote women that have low morals?
Because it's an attention grabber.
Hell no.
Why does our mainstream media promote women that have low morals?
Because it's exciting, I guess. It's
We're so into listening to celebrities instead of creating our own opinions and doing our own research and meeting these own people, like going to the rallies and making sure we're in tune to it all, is just celebrities controlling younger people instead of having their own opinion.
Why do the majority of young women happen to be left-leaning woke liberals?
Oh my God, because of Snapchat and social media and Instagram.
They say that strong men are because people up.
This guy's getting on my nerves,
That's
feminism.
Trying to be all in the videos.
I'm staying at home and cooking and cleaning.
She does not like to work.
What do young conservative women think about women's issues?
I think that we get it, but everyone's just being super dramatic about it, so it makes us want to do the opposite of what everyone's trying to push on us.
I do get outcasted from a lot of female communities. And I'm like, well, what is this whole sisterhood, women supporting women type thing? Because if I personally wouldn't have an abortion, and if you're having an abortion and I'm not going to sit over here pointing the finger, then why are you pointing the finger at me? That's something that I'm really noticing a lot, is and I don't even like to call myself a feminist nowadays, just because it's gotten to this extremist level of if you don't agree with what I'm thinking, then you're just out of the group.
I'm kind of biased. It should be women's choice, in my opinion, but I'm not pro-abortion, so it's hard.
I think young conservative women right now
Guy's getting on my nerves, man.
they're something I think we've heard.
Too far. Way too far.
I think feminism has gone too far, of course.
Men hating at this point.
You know, that's a tricky question. I think everybody's definition of feminism is very different. You know, I think every woman is a little bit of a feminist in their own way based off of the belief that, you know, females are capable of great things and women really can rule the world if they want to. But I don't think that feminism should regard, you know, canceling the men that we need in our life. And this world isn't just women. It is men as well. And men play a very, very large aspect in keeping our politicians and our government and our world running properly. And I think that they have just as much to bring to the table as women do.
Yeah, that'll do, you know. It's painful to listen to that. They looked alright, these women, but nah. Fuck, you know. Ring a brass up or wrap it up. You know, the next live, it's going to be different, you know. We're going to have like actual conversations, you know, like FaceTime chats. So turn this off and talk about Kruger's bent legs. Are you lot gay or something? Didn't you enjoy looking at those fucking women? You know what I mean? What's up? Fuck, you know. What did that guy say? The guy said something interesting. Guys, you know what you're going to get watching these lives? Absolute bollocks and drivel. Exactly what we are here for. That's it, man. What else are you going to do? Like, what would you be doing if you weren't watching this shit? Like, just out of interest, what would you be doing? What's going on? What was you doing before I started this live? One hour, 8 minutes. Right. Have you had a chat with your advisor, Al Ayman, recently? Yeah, I was talking to him today. Well, yesterday. He asked me if I wanted to go to the KSI press conference in London, but I didn't go, you know. Looking back, I think I should have gone, you know, just to try and get an interview with him, you know, step up. Because I've enjoyed the live today, but people are fucking whinging, man. You got Rosie Webster there fucking breastfeeding. You know, what more do you want? What the fuck do you want me to do? Set up a Reddit like KSI and go live with it. Yeah. Someone told me there's a Reddit on me already, you know. You know what I mean? Obviously not as big as KSI's, but it's just kind of getting going. It's getting a bit of momentum, maybe. I don't know. I haven't really looked at it, but I could like react to Reddit posts. What are you saying? What happened to buying a new house? You said you were moving like 3 months ago. I applied for a job about a year ago, yeah. And they rang me up yesterday, you know, offering me the job. It's working in a fucking bakery. You know, wearing one of them hairnets. And, oh, I can't do that. Might do it twice a week though, you know, 2 12-hour shifts. I'll get about 250 quid, you know, just for 2 shifts a week. So it's a nice little top up, innit? Yeah, man. Get some comments like that in the fucking Reddit. And we'll do a little review of them, because that was quite a good comment, wasn't it? Must be a bloody small net with that hairline. That was a good comment. That was comment of the day, I think. That was comment of the day. Doesn't a fishy minge bother you? Yeah, it does. Yeah, this woman used to stink, you know, pussy-wise. She had a kid in it, so like, she had a big hole. I don't think the doctor like stitched her up properly because there was like a bit of flesh, you know, hanging out of her hole. Yeah. Told you that story already, Anna. It's fucking horrible. She stunk. It's like when women go for a shit, like they push like the shit into their pussy hole, innit? Because obviously there's about that much distance, you know, from their arsehole to their pussy hole. So obviously there's going to be some shit that gets stuck in their fucking pussy hole. So they stink, a lot of them. They don't clean themselves properly. You know, like me with my rubber glove. I was like fingering my arse. You know, getting up there. Would you prefer to have Khabib's wrestling or Wilder's power? Probably power, innit? Wilder's power, because in the streets I don't want to be rolling around on the floor getting all dirty. So power, just stand up, just knock them out. I think I've got Wilder's power though. I've laid out a lot of people in the streets, men and women. So I've got that punch. But you know, when I used to box, I didn't really show that power. I had like 2 stoppage victories. Dead G. What's wrong with this guy, man? This guy's asking me some weird questions, man. How come you couldn't KO in the ring? I don't know. I think when I used to punch, my fist was like that. It wasn't really clenched. It was like that. So it's more like slaps. I don't know. I'm not sure what it is. But my style was really boring, you know, just moving around and that. It was a shit. What effects do you feel today from your boxing career, injury-wise? I got out of it. I got out of it unscathed, man. I got out of it fucking... I'm alright, man. I'm fresh. Do I look nearly 40? What do you think? You know, when I interview women on the live, you know, on Omegle, I'm going to tell them I'm like 25. Do you think I can pass for that? What's your favourite KO of a woman in the streets? Probably when 3 women tried to attack me and I just fucking hit them all on the chin with pinpoint accuracy, and they were all down. Yeah, woman down, just laying down, just out cold, man. Boxing career, laughing face. Yeah, I had a little go. You know what I mean? I had a little go. Didn't really fucking pay off, but whatever. It kind of did pay off though, because I was kind of forced in front of the cameras. You know, Coogan. He used to interview me, you know, before I became a YouTuber, and he tried to like blackball me, you know, because he didn't want me to rise up and overtake him. But he used to interview me, you know, back in the day. So being involved in boxing kind of forced me to be in front of the camera. And, you know, by doing these videos, I've made a shitload of cash. Thanks to everyone who's given me super chats, you know, over the year. Or subscribe to my Patreon. Someone says, do Amigo now. Alright then. Let me just tell you this, yeah. Because I've only downloaded it today, I need to like learn how to set it up. But as soon as this live's finished, I'm going to learn how to set it up, learn how to add people, learn how to put their video into this video. I might not be able to put these photos up, you know, of like Rosie Webster breastfeeding. Because I'll need to put a video there. You know, in probably the top right corner of the screen. So I need to fiddle about with it all and, you know, get used to it. Fight Wayne Rooney on Misfits. Yeah, good idea, man, good idea. Message KSI's manager, Mams Taylor, like hammer his inbox and tell him to put me on one of his shows. Someone's just tagged me in a post, yeah? He's basically commented on one of KSI's posts and he said, send a fight contract to Ty and Broove, yeah? That's what I like to see, man. You have to, yeah, man. Hour in, doesn't look like I've missed anything. That's what I mean. Yeah, well, come on, man. I've helped you pass an hour of your day. Like, we're just waiting to die, aren't we? So just fucking chill out, man. Do you have a pink phone? Yeah. See that? This woman gave it me. You know, this fucking woman I used to call a reject. I stopped calling her that because she's done a lot for me. You know what I mean? She put me on her car insurance, you know, and I had like drink driving convictions. And it like reduced my car insurance payments. So she did that. She gave me a TV. She gave me this little pink iPhone. What else? I think she gave me a Hoover, a Dyson, a microwave, a DVD player. What else? I used to be with this other woman and she had kids and she like paid for me to go to Tenerife and she bought me a fancy watch and she just kept spending money on me, you know, because she was desperate, you know, because she was a single mom. She didn't have many options. She had sexual options, but she didn't have like relationship options. There's a difference. There's a difference between wanting to fuck a woman and then wanting to settle down with her and take on her irritating children. So this fucking Rosie Webster, yeah, she's dropped down a few levels. But I keep putting her in these videos because she's like a mascot, you know, of the channel. How did Naz's brother react when he found out you were spilling the beans on your live? He rang me, didn't he? And I put it on loudspeaker, Naz's brother, you know, when he was slagging off his brother Naz because he stopped giving him money. And one of you lot told Naz's brother. I don't know which one of you it was, but you told him, didn't you? Then he started like ringing me saying, oh, why have you put me on your live? So I was like, whatever, man, whatever. You know, you're a snide. You tried to sell out your own fucking brother because he stopped giving you handouts after 20 years. You know what I mean? You're a bum. How was your date last weekend? So, this woman asked me if I wanted to meet up with her, yeah. She paid for the hotel. And I agreed, you know, to meet her in the hotel. But like, the woman's got bipolar. You know, like Tyson Fury. So like, we were talking, yeah, on WhatsApp, you know, just having a normal conversation. Like, how are you? How's it going? Yeah, what you been up to? Yeah, how's it going? This and that. And then she like switched on me and she was like, oh, I'm fucking sick of this. You're taking the piss out of me. Do you think I'm some kind of mug or something? I was like, what the fuck are you on about? We was just having a normal chat and now you switched on me like that. What do you mean? What are you fucking on about? And I just thought, nah, I'm not meeting her. I don't take any shit from any women, man. Yeah? You know, back in the days when I was broke, I had to put up with bullshit, you know, from women. But now I don't need to fucking tolerate bullshit from a fucking woman who's bipolar, like Tyson Fury. So I didn't meet her in the hotel, and she was like messaging me saying, oh, I'm in this hotel on my own. I was like, well, so what? You shouldn't fucking speak to me like that. You know what I mean? I've risen above that level. We have to fucking put up with bullshit. I've sold thousands and thousands of pounds of merch. You know what I mean? You see that big hole? I've kind of robbed the viewers, you know, selling them this bullshit. But why do you keep telling me to watch this guy? Who's this guy here? Watch H Sticky Tocky. Who's that? Who is it? Who's this guy? Is he a new little YouTuber on the scene? I've seen a few people commenting that, you know, saying watch this guy. Put on some music. You know what? I'm writing a Coogan diss track, you know. I'm writing a fucking Coogan diss track. So I might be releasing a little music video, you know, a little Coogan diss track. I've been writing a few little lyrics. Yeah. You know Tupac? You know that song that he sang called Hit 'Em Up? You know, when he was like dissing Biggie? And he said, oh, that's why I fucked your bitch, you fat motherfucker. Well, I've wrote a line in my little Coogan diss track called, that's why I bent your legs, you Sri Lankan motherfucker. Yeah? So I'm fucking writing a Coogan diss track. That's my first bar. So I need to like think of some other stuff to say, innit? That's a good bar, innit? That's why I bent your legs, you Sri Lankan mother. That's a bit racist. That's why I bent your legs. Yeah, it's gonna be a good song, man. Yes, Aaron, you still here, yeah? Saw that Teddy in the pub. He was down in pints time. Which one? What, this one here? Boxing's dead at the moment, yeah. 100%. It is dead, man. But you know, because when I started doing these videos, I started off with boxing, didn't I? So it's kind of hard to just fuck boxing off and just go down a completely different path. So I still feel like I have to, you know, kind of talk about boxing a bit. The title of this video is Eddie Hearn demands Rolex back from Lawrence Okolie after contract dispute. YouTube boxing is the future, unfortunately. Well, fortunately for me, if I can get on there, man. Fuck you now. Let me just see if that KSI's manager has read my message. I sent him a really nice, fancy message, you know, on Instagram. I want to see if he's seen it. Let me see if he's left me unseen. He's called Mams Taylor. I sent him a long message saying that True Geordie likes my videos and he gave me £100. And he's given me a little review, you know, on his channel. So I tried to drop in a few names. You know, I told him that I interviewed Dead G. So let me see if he's read this message. Here we go. No, I haven't even seen it. Fuck you know. He's playing hard to get. That's what I mean. It's like, that's why I need a blue tick, you know, on Instagram. I applied for a blue tick and they said no. So I have to take the L. I just hope that he fucking reads the message eventually. Yeah, man. $12 AM. What you lot up to? You lot work or what? You're just sitting here waiting to die. It's like a little cult, innit? Never seen you in Nottingham still. Yeah, man, Nottingham's my home, man. Fucking... I've seen some of you lot in knots, you know, like the last time I was there. We took a few little photos. I'm not trying to make out like I'm some fucking celebrity. I'm just telling you, innit? Who is this fucking guy?
Hello?
Hiya.
How old are you?
16.
How old are you?
She's 16. See, this is the kind of shit I'm gonna do, and I know for a fact I'm gonna end up talking to some young girls, you know, and you lot are gonna try and screen record it, you know, and try and spread it around the internet to try and make me look dodgy. But I'll take the risk.
16.
Hello?
Hiya.
How old are you?
Right.
Hello? Hello? How old are you? Right, I'm not fucking joining these minors, bruv. Like, I'm done. I'm done joining minors, alright? We're giving the game a few minutes rest because I'm dropping Savile game right now. Like, we're literally just joining hella underage things. Fuck that.
It's a risk.
Fuck that. This Monday morning is like, this is fucking, This would be heaven for Savile right now. There's just minors everywhere, bro. What do you do for work then, Meg?
Oh, you've got some haters, you know.
What are they saying?
Vile things.
Like what?
Vile.
Like what?
It's me.
Yo, this nigga's getting on my nerves, you know, I'm gonna be honest. I think my little conversations with these fucking... Alright then. Right. Shall I wrap it up? 16's too old. I started getting pubes when I was like 13. So that's like nature's way of saying go and fuck. But yeah, I don't want to get into that too much. It's a bit dodgy, innit? Liam Smith, what about him? Why are you just saying random words, man? Might wrap it up, you know. Your sexy cousin is young. Yeah, she's 13, man. She's pregnant. You know what I mean? So it's... I don't know. I don't want to get into it too much. I know you lot want me to say something dodgy so you can like record it. Shall I wrap it up? It's been an hour and a half, you know. I've had a good run. I've enjoyed myself. What are you saying? There's still hundreds of people watching. Who's the dad? She's just some little chav. So she's going to end up a desperate single mum, you know, on a dating app. You know, begging people for a hug. Heard from Lee. Who's Lee? My gal is 15 next week. I'm only 34. It sounds dodgy, don't it, him saying that, but you know, as far as nature goes, the purpose of life is to reproduce, innit? You know, keep the species going. I used to study evolution and all that. I used to read books, you know, about Charles Darwin and natural selection and all that shit. Nature. I watched David Attenborough's videos, you know, and it's all about like reproducing, innit? Passing on your DNA, your genes, you know, and like passing on the bloodline. That's why his men want to fuck all the time, because we want to bust a nut, we want to reproduce. Yeah. So this guy here, he's saying my gal is 15 next week, I'm only 34. The thing is, a 34-year-old woman is kind of over the hill, you know, like reproductively speaking. She's lost 90% of her eggs, so she's not as fertile. But you know, the gal who is 15 next week, she's kind of in her prime, if you know what I mean. I don't want to sound dodgy, but you know what I'm saying, innit? I'm talking from a nature point of view. So yeah. I get what you're saying about puberty being a sign of adulthood. But as a grown man, would you want to listen to a teenage girl? Bro, 19's a teenager, isn't it? There was this guy in the gym, yeah, and he was like 15 years old. but he was like really mature. He would like talk, you know, like a grown man. He was like really mature. When I used to talk to him, it's like he had a good head on his shoulders. And I used to say to him, and I used to say to his dad, like, why is your son so fucking mature when he's 15? And his dad said, because when I go to the pub and I'm with my adult mates, I take my son along. So my son, my 15-year-old son, is always around like men, grown men, you know, and he takes him to football matches, you know, with other men, grown men. So his son's always around grown men, yeah? So you become like a product of your environment, innit? They say if you're around 5 idiots, you'll be an idiot. If you're around 5 millionaires, you'll be a millionaire. So you're kind of like a product of your surroundings, innit? Nassim Ahmed used to spar with Harold Graham. Nassim Ahmed was a little flyweight and Harold was like a super middleweight. So, you know, sparring with a bigger man, it benefited him. Same with Jermaine Pennant. When he was a kid, yeah, when we were kids, when we were like 12, Jermaine would be playing football with his dad and his dad's mates, you know, grown men. So that's why Jermaine Pennant like excelled. And he made history, you know, signing for Arsenal at 15 years old for £2 million. Yeah, I'm gonna wrap it up, you know. I've enjoyed myself. Yeah. The next live will be better. We'll have a little chat with some women. Hopefully they're legal, you know, on Omegle. I think Big Brother is the answer for you. You know, my advisor, Al Ayman, he keeps messaging me saying, oh, Big Brother auditions are coming up, you know, so you need to apply. You need to apply for Big Brother. Try and get on Big Brother, you know, it will boost your profile. Yeah? So, bro. Get on Love Island like Tommy Fury. That's what I mean, man. Come on, man. Tommy Fury's not good at anything, is he? You know, he's decent looking, but that's it. He's got no fucking personality. He's not a good boxer. You know, he's nothing. Fucking muppet. Do it. You'd get kicked off first week, man down. Laughing face. Do you think so? Do you think if I did like a... Yeah, it might get a bit messy, you know. What do you think? Should I set up another channel? You know, under a different name, I don't know. Different email address, a different... I've got a VPN so I can hide my email, my internet address. I don't want to diss single mums, in it, you know, calling them rejects and saying, oh, they're not in demand and they've gone down a few levels, like Rosie Webster. But it's best to talk like that, innit? Because, you know, you want to prevent your fucking daughter from ending up like that. You know, having to pay for a man to go to Tenerife, like this fucking woman did, who I was with, who had 2 kids. This other woman bought me a big TV, she gave me a DVD player, she gave me all kinds of shit. Put me on her car insurance when I got done for drink driving. You don't want your daughter to be paying all this money just to try and desperately get a hug off a man. You see that woman who booked the hotel for us the other day? Like, she's got kids as well, so that's why she paid for the hotel. Yeah, but if she didn't have kids and she was a bit younger, like, she wouldn't have done that. She'll be expecting me to pay for it, innit? So her value has dropped, yeah? Because she's a single mum. You don't really want your fucking daughter to end up like that. So you have to talk to her, innit? You know, about the real world. My dad caught me wanking when I was like 14, yeah. He like walked into the toilet when I was wanking, and there was all these like page 3 newspaper cuttings, you know, all over the place. This is before Pornhub. So my dad caught me wanking, yeah, so he knew I was quite sexual. But he still didn't give me that sexual talk. You know, that man-to-man talk. You know, telling me to watch out, be safe. Don't get any fucking women pregnant. You see my little cousin who's 13? She's fucked. She's pregnant. My mum was a single mum, innit? So I don't want to diss fucking single mums and that, but it's just good to give your daughter advice, innit? You know, so she don't end up like that as well. My mum's about 65, yeah. She's in a fucking job where she has to like put old women in the bath. You know, give them a little wash and that, wash their pussies. You know, wipe their arses. And my mum's depressed. We all got let down by dad. That's why we lowlifes in the chat. Just the way society's gone, hasn't it? You know what I mean? Back in the day, like, women couldn't just have a kid like that. You know, back in the caveman days. Because if they just had a kid with some random man who's a lowlife, the woman would have got murdered. You know, by a wild animal. You know, she didn't have a man there to protect her from these wild animals. And these other cavemen who were competing for resources. Just think about it. You're a caveman, yeah? You have to hunt your food. There's a fucking woman who's trying to get that same food. You know, you're going to murder her, aren't you? You're going to get rid of her. Eliminate competition for resources. You know, that's what lions do. I watch a lot of wildlife programs. And a lion will just kill a random hyena. You know, because that hyena is probably going to fucking try and get hold of a gazelle. Yeah, and like steal the fucking resources. Ty, do you play board games? That's a nice little question, isn't it? Women back in the day, women went for strength over looks. You say back in the day, they probably still do now. Like, they want a man who's tall, don't they? That little fucking pussy old Sonny Edwards. Women don't like men like that. 5 foot men. So women still want a man who's tall, innit? Who's strong. You know, they're probably willing to compromise on the guy's looks. You know, if he's got money and he's tall. Like, look at Coogan. Coogan's got a bit of cash. He's got that drug money stashed. He's about my height as well, so he's about 6'2". And you see the pussy that he's getting. He's getting women pregnant. Yeah, so women will compromise. Women will like kind of turn a blind eye to a man's looks. You know, if he's got money and a bit of status and a bit of height. No, women go for looks. That's why peacocks and lions look the way they do. Well, male lions, like compete with each other, don't they? And whoever loses, the female lion will have sex with the winner. You know, because he's shown that strength, that dominance. So you're wrong. 2 lions who look the same. Bro, she wants the one who's got the fucking killer instinct. That's why women like murderers. When I was on Tinder, yeah, women always had in their bio, I like watching serial killer documentaries. The Yorkshire Ripper got married in prison. Yeah, and he was a murderer. He murdered women. You probably never murdered a woman, but you're struggling sexually, aren't you? Whereas a fucking murderer, the Yorkshire Ripper, you know, he got a load of posse. He got a load of love letters as well. Time play Connect 4 again. You're the guy who just said this live shit, you know, about half an hour ago. But you're still here, aren't you? You're still here asking me to play Connect 4. Yeah, man, I've had a good time tonight. I've had a good time. It's the highlight of my day. I enjoyed putting that rubber glove on, you know, and washing my arsehole. But you lot are fucking dirty, aren't you? Tiny, have you ever heard about the Gun Brothers in Nottingham? Yeah, I've been watching some little videos on YouTube, you know, about Nottingham gangsters and the Gun Brothers. Yeah, it was good. My uncle got 10 years in prison for banging his underage daughter. This guy keeps messaging, he keeps basically he's like tagging my name in KSI posts, you know, telling him to put me on one of his shows. That's what I need, man. Have any of you lot signed up to Ebony Bridges' OnlyFans? Did you see that photo of Michelle Hall Phelps? She tried to put a little photo on Instagram, you know, trying to reveal some of her nipples. Let's have a look. See if she's blocked me. Michelle Hall Phelps. You see that? Can you not see that shit there? You see that photo of Hall Phelps? She's trying to, like, you know what I mean? She's had a bit of surgery, man. You see how she's like conveniently getting her nipples in the photo? She ain't got a bra on. She's conveniently fucking... fucking horrible, man. One hour 49 minutes. It's fucking stupid, man. She's hit the wall, man. She's trying to freeze her eggs. You know, because she's hit her sell-by date. You have to tell your daughter when she's young and in her prime. Try and find the fucking best man that you can find while you're in your prime. Don't sleep around and be a slag throughout your 20s. And then hope to find a fucking Andrew Tate type guy when you're fucking 40. It's too late. High value men like Andrew Tate and me, we don't like 40-year-old women. I don't want to sound harsh, but it's just it's just how it is, isn't it? You know, if a man's broke and he's fat and he's 4 foot tall, women aren't into him. So we're not into like old fucking women who are slags like Hall Phelps. Yeah, man. What you saying? Telling me I'm not a fucking high value man with fucking, you know, me selling thousands of pounds of this shit merch. Just took me up a few levels, man. I'd have to deal with 40-year-olds thanks to you lot. You've helped me out. The super chats are drying up though, aren't they, tonight? So I'm going to have to wrap it up. Where's Hex Toys when you need him? You're only seeing what's going on here. You're not seeing what's going on behind the scenes. Yeah? You're not seeing what's going on. You're not seeing what he's saying when he's sliding into my DMs, you know, on Instagram. So, you know, you're trying to make a joke like, oh, the super chats are dead, but I'm getting it. I'm getting it. Yes, reality. What's he saying here? Who gets more minge? KSI's brother Fadji. Fadji. Who the fuck is Fadji? Or the Black Skellington? You mean Dead G? Who gets more minge? KSI's brother Dead G or the Black Skellington? Obviously Dead G. He's got 10 million subscribers. And he did a video the other day where he was like in London and he was like paying people £100, you know, if they could hit him in the face. So yeah, man. Yes, Graham. Safe as always. I've had a good time today. Oh, come on, man. There's a site called Rumble. That's where Andrew Tate is, and you can say anything. So you know those kind of questions, they're dodgy, man. You have to. Someone said that's a timeout. I don't know. I'm not going to read it out. It's a bit, I'm not getting ads on this video, 100%. Don't be sly and wrap it up without warning time. I know I've done that a few times, innit? Where I've just cut the live, you know, short prematurely. That's when I was smoking weed, though, innit? Kind of got a bit paranoid, man. I felt a bit like shit. The police are watching, which they do, don't they? Try to knock on my door, man. They're trying to threaten me. Man's asking me about 7-year-olds. Yeah, from the comments under his video, I can't post, but on here I can. How's that? What are you saying? Can you like comment on these videos? You can. Because a few little notifications have been popping up, you know, on my phone. Because some of you lot have commented. I'm shadow banned, innit? So my subscribers aren't really growing, but did you lot get a notification, you know, when I went live today? Because I don't know if YouTube are acting a bit fucking dodgy, you know, because this content is a bit shady. Listen, I could have murdered somebody. I hit this guy. The guy smashed his head on the pavement. The police had to put him in a recovery position. Shall I take it to 2 hours? What do you think of those 4 kids that drowned in a lake yesterday? People are going to write Facebook statuses saying, oh, it's so sad, you know what I mean? But then the next fucking day, they're not bothered, are they? So I'm not going to be that guy who's like, oh, it's tragic, it's sad, it's horrible. It is, isn't it, boys? Come on, man. There's lots of clips of you on TikTok. Is that true? Alright, let me show you this video. You didn't see my password there, did you? You didn't see me type in my little pin. Alright, watch this video, yeah. Get that comment off the fucking screen, man. I want to show you a little video.
R.I.P. Tiny Booth. Yeah. Rest in peace, kind of. Rip Taylor Booth, rest in peace. R.I.P. to my health. R.I.P. to Tiny Booth. I'm not. With my bro, Tyan Boot, I don't know who they...
Yeah, what up? Yeah? You see all that? You see all that going on?
R.I.P. Tyan Booth. Yeah. Rest in peace, Tyan Booth.
Man's going viral and shit.
R.I.P. to Tyan Boot. I'm not. With my bro, Tyan Boot, I don't know who they...
Tyan died 20 minutes ago, yep. Been dead for a while, to be honest, but we keep it going, man. Someone called Jack Jones has just sent me a message saying Papa Dom Chin. Yeah, it's one of you lot, innit? Gulping is mad, I know. Come on, man. Man, gulping away. Oh, that was a nice swallow. Does Ali Drew sleep around like Hor Phelps? I've dissed her before in my videos, yeah. So, you know, when I seen her at the KSI Swarms even, she like looked at me like that. She was like looking at me like that. Do you know what I mean? And I was thinking, what the fuck's she looking at? She was like looking at me like that. And I was thinking, what the fuck's she looking at? Because I've said so much in these videos over the years, I forget who I've dissed. So when I see people, I keep having dreams about bumping into Carl Froch, you know, in Nottingham. And yeah, this fucking Ali Drew woman. Play a little video of this fucking woman. She was like staring at me in it because I said that she's a pound shop whore Phelps. But I don't know. We'll see what you think. What do you think of this fucking woman here? This pound shop whore Phelps. But
So Anthony,
saying she's a pound shop whore Phelps, that's like giving whore Phelps credit, innit? But she don't deserve credit, man. You lot are messaging me, man. Someone says, Jack Jones says, Ali Drew looks like a nigger.
August 24th, just under 3 weeks away, you'll be in Russia fighting Kovalev for that world title. Is the excitement setting in now?
It's been setting. The excitement's been there. From it got announced, from it was spoken about, and everyone was in agreement. From it got made mandatory. The excitement's been there.
And has your approach to camp been different this time because it's for the world title, or is it business as usual in the gym?
Business as usual. The only thing you change, again, just like every other fight, is the tempo. You get better with each fight. Well, I've got better with each fight.
Lions in the camp.
You just push yourself to the limit, literally. You don't overdo it. You don't go out there and think any different or say to yourself, oh, it's Kovalev, you do this different.
That's Umar, IFL Umar, innit?
You do that different. You just be confident within yourself and push yourself to the limit.
You are known as a KO.
Just be confident, think any different or say to yourself, oh, it's Kovalev, you do this different, you do that different. You just be confident with.
That's his fancy watch, innit? You see how he's trying to get that fancy watch in the video? That's what he's doing, innit? He's trying to get that fancy watch all in the video.
In yourself and push yourself to the limit.
You are known as a KO specialist. 17 of your 18 wins by KO.
Yeah, this fucking woman was trying to stare at me like that, like she wanted smoke. Fucking.
Do you think that's going to go this way? Is it going to be a knockout, or do you think you're going to have to prepare yourself for the distance?
It's gone Anthony Yard winning by knockout. I've said this from the beginning. That's all that's in my mind.
Lions in the camp.
That's the way it's going to happen.
Okay, and there's been quite a lot of hype and talk about the fight. You did get a tweet from The Rock.
Remember him?
Obviously you said you've been a fan of his for years, so what does it feel having the support of people like that and to have them following your career?
Again, that's surreal to me. The Rock was someone that I watched a film with him the other day, Fast and Furious, Hobbs and Shaw. Serious film. I'm not even trying to promote here, but it's a serious film. The film is serious from beginning to end. It's a good film. The Rock, again, he's probably a mentor to me because how his life's gone, his career. He was meant to be an NFL player.
Trying to get that watching again,
wrestling,
and look at
dominated
that.
in wrestling.
See that? He's trying to conveniently get the fancy watch in the video as well. It had a bit of shine on it, didn't it?
But he started.
Look,
he was meant to.
See that? Why else would he put his arm up there? Like he's looking at the camera as well. He's trying to get that fancy watch all in the video. See that? You see what's going on there? Yeah.
Be an NFL player, went into wrestling, dominated in wrestling. But he started off gradually. You know, he was hated in wrestling, then he was loved. Left wrestling, and he's been dominating ever since. You know, he's one of the. I think he was Hollywood's #1 actor at one point. That's crazy. There's people like, what's his name? Tom Hardy. There's people like Leonardo DiCaprio, and then The Rock's outshining them kind of guys. You know, Denzel Washington. So The Rock's surpassed everyone's. He surpassed limitations. So yeah, The Rock's someone that I look to as like a mentor.
So great that he's backing you.
Oh, 100%. If you smell what The Rock is cooking.
Well, you do have your own mantra, Lions in the Camp. We've heard it a few times today.
Empty the tank.
How many times a day do you think you say that? And is that the first thing you say when you wake up in the morning?
I wake up out my sleep, I yawn and I shout Lions in the Camp.
You are one of the entertainers in the boxing world. Do you think it's just as important, as well as performing in the boxing ring, to entertain the fans and just to have fun?
Yeah, I just feel like you just got to be yourself. Literally, you just got to be yourself. There's some people that are not entertaining at all. They're just not entertaining. I just don't like watching them. And then there's some people that, you know, they're just naturally entertaining. They're not even, sometimes they might try to be, but it comes out naturally. And I've just always been myself. I didn't even know I was an entertainer in this sport. I knew, obviously, when you come into the ring, a knockout, everyone wants to see a knockout, so that's what I try to execute.
Yeah.
But other than that, I'm just myself. I love to laugh and joke. Just like everyone else does. But some people are shy to do it. But literally, I love to laugh and joke.
See what's going on there in the background.
Joke, have fun, and yeah, get the job done.
I'm more interested in this guy.
Well,
here.
so this is your first bid for a
You
world
know,
title,
Umar,
so it's a
IFL,
step up
Umar.
in opponent and occasion. Do you feel like this is the perfect time for you?
Everything is timing. I do feel like the timing is now. I feel like now is the perfect timing, and that's because it's happening. That's the belief I've got, and it's happening now for a reason. It's happening in Russia for a reason.
These boxing interviews are boring.
This is why I'm excited, and this is why I'm looking.
Yeah, I've had a tough camp. Lions in the camp. That's that fucking woman who was trying to stare at me like that. You know what I mean?
Looking forward to it.
Trying to act all
And what do you say to the critics who say they think it's too big a
Knock her
step?
out,
What do you say to them?
Me or you? That's what I say to the critics. To some people that will make sense. To some people they'll say, "What is he talking about?" People that know me will know what I'm talking about. Me or you? Me or you? That's what.
Does that mean either you have the chance or they will, and they're not going to get the chance?
It means me or you.
What's so funny about that?
So
one of my boys over there laughing because he knows.
It's fake laughter, isn't it?
So
Joshua.
after Russia, what's next?
I'll just focus on one thing at a time.
It's not sincere laughter.
All I know
is
is that I'm just going to go to Russia. From that first bell rings, my life changes. Or my life's changed already. Gradually, it's changed. It's done a 360.
Who did he get that big payday off? He got fucked up, didn't he? I can't remember who he boxed. Was it Bivol or something like that? Yeah, that Tondi has managed to get a payday, you know, for nothing. You know, shouting, empty the tank. He's milking it. He hasn't done anything. I remember when I was sat next to him in Starbucks. Not next to him, but I was like sat in Starbucks in London. I was outside like rolling a spliff. It was basically at the O2, you know, when KSI box swarms. There's a little Starbucks there. And I was outside rolling a spliff and Tondi was sat inside. And he could see me in it and he was trying not to look at me, man.
But I'll say from this fight happens, my life changes.
So before we see you on the 24th, give a message to the camera.
Message to the camera. It's always going to be lions in the camp. It is lions in the camp, whether you like it or not.
That's dead.
Lions in the camp is a mentality. So if you've got that mentality or you need the mentality where you need to go and get it, go get it, make it happen. Because lions, they got no choice. They got to get up, they got to go hunt, feed their family. So it's lions in the camp.
Thanks for speaking to us. Good luck.
Lions go up to female lions. Male lions go up to female lions. Killer cubs. Yeah, get rid of them. They're not his cubs. Get rid of those cubs and bang the fucking female lion. You know, and get her pregnant. And then that becomes his family, you know what I mean? You imagine if humans work like that. Imagine if I went up to that woman there and just fucking, you know what I'm trying to say, innit? Right, I'm gonna have to wrap this up, you know. I've had a nice time today. Yeah, it's over 2 hours. Let me read one more comment, yeah? Harsh but right. That's what happens in the wild, man. Male lions got to female lions. They run the male lion that this female lion was with. They fight with him, get rid of him. If he pusses out and runs off, the fucking male lion who won the fight, he'll kill the cubs, you know, of that fucking other male lion. Get rid of them. And like, I don't want to sound horrible, but when I was with that woman who had 2 kids, yeah. Yes, Big Tail. Thanks for the £1 again, yeah? Yes, that's it, man. It's been good. I've enjoyed myself. Thanks for keeping me entertained. Thanks for the super chats. Yeah, we're gonna go again. What day is it today? It's actually Fridays because it's gone past 12 a.m. hasn't it? So, yeah. Review murderers. Time Brew bangs brasses boldly. What do you mean boldly? Time Brew bangs brasses. I don't bang brasses. I used to, innit? When I first started going to brothels, it was all new to me. It was like a new experience. You know, I couldn't believe that I could just give a woman 30 quid and she would take her clothes off and lay on the bed and open her legs. You know, and expose her fucking pussy hole for me to bang. The novelty was like, wow, this is fucking unbelievable. But after a while, I got bored of it. So it's like when I used to box and I used to be a bit disciplined, you know, with my diet. You know, when I finished boxing, I was eating like 5 bars of chocolate a day. But then I got bored of it, innit? So the novelty always wears off. But yeah, man, I've had a good time. Shall I wrap it up? Why does Eddie Hearn do what Kinnan tells him? Bro, you know what? You give me like $1.99, so I appreciate the super chat in it, but I don't know, it's not. Do murderer reviews, good shout. That's a good comment. But he didn't give me a super chat. This other guy gave me a super chat, yeah. So I shouldn't be dissing him and dismissing his little comment. Why does Eddie Hearn do what Kinnan tells him? I don't know if he does he? Why does he? What are you saying? Stay on for 5 hours. It's 10 to 1 in the morning, yeah? You know, if I went live at like 9 p.m. and just did like 4 hours, you know, you don't have to stay there. You can just dip in and dip out or just fuck off permanently. You know what I mean? You don't have to stay in it. But if I do like 4 hours, it'll be fucking... Would you do a 24-hour live? You have nothing better to do anyway. Good point. Like I say, the highlight prior to this live was fucking fingering my arse. You know, with my rubber glove on. It felt nice. Nice and clean, fresh. Getting up there, man. Yes. Thanks for the little super chat, yeah? Do you think Kinnan gives Eddie drugs for favours? Do you think Kinnan gives Eddie drugs for favours? Eddie Hearn hasn't really shown any signs of being a druggie, has he? It's that fucking other guy, what's his name? What's that guy called? That fucking coke sniffer, Kelly Sunderland. He's the one who's drugged up. I don't know if Eddie Hearn takes drugs. I don't know if he sleeps around either. You know, he's been with his wife for 20 years, so he must be bored of her by now. Yeah, but he seems to be disciplined, and that's probably why he's like the #1 promoter. You know, in boxing, even though people have a go at him, he does interviews with every single YouTube channel, don't he? Even the little shit ones with like 50 subscribers. Alright, I'll finish this bottle. I'll keep it going until I've finished. I need to put up another video as well that I've just finished called the top 5 scumbags in boxing. Who do you think made the list? In fact, just wait and see, innit? Just be a nice little... I did a bit of research, you know, on Wikipedia, so I'm going to hit you with some good facts, you know, about scumbags in boxing. Stay up all night, Ty, you'll get the bag. That guy said, oh, you don't need much of a hairnet, you know, with that hairline. That was a good comment on it. I should have pinned it, you know, so it stays at the top of the chat. How do you do that? Pin. Pin. Yeah, I can pin them. Pin. Just pin that, you know, to the top of the chat. Yeah. How do I unpin it? I should have pinned a super chat. I need to start doing a bit more, you know, for people who fucking give me money. How do I unpin that comment? Stay on, you batty boy. How do I get rid of that? He didn't give me any cash. Right, unpin message, yeah. I should have pinned the super chats, you know, to the top of the message, the chat. Does anyone know who Maxine Carr is now? Maxine Carr, that name rings a bell. Let me type that in. Maxine Carr. Oh, Carr. So look at this woman here. Yeah, man. Murder. Yes. Who did she murder? Ian Huntley's ex-girlfriend, Maxine Carr. Oh, is that too much reading? There's too much in it. That's like fucking Connor Bomb's little statement. You know, Connor Bomb, he put out a long fucking statement like this saying, oh, I'm innocent, you know, I look forward to proving my innocence. You know, my dad has got faith in me that I haven't cheated. Well, he's fucking cossy. We're bound to say that, isn't it? But this is the long kind of shit that Connor Bomb put up the other day. You know, all this shit. And I read it all, and I was like, what the fuck? He hasn't even said anything. It's just all empty words, innit? My legal team this and my legal team that, and fucking man's wasting my time. But yeah, murder. It's definitely the path to go down for me. And just kind of get away from this boxing shit. I'll buy you a crate of beer if you stay on. You know what I've realised as well? You know these live comments, this live chat, this is like the best live chat in boxing, you know, on this channel. And I'm not saying that to be biased, because it's not me who's writing the comments, is it? It's you lot. But I've watched like other lives. You know that boxing talk with Addy? You know, I've watched these lives. You know, I watched his live the other day. And I was looking at the chat, you know, the live chat, and it wasn't that good. He was a bit dead. And then I watched that fucking Tondi and that Spencer Fearon. You know, and that live was dead. You know, the live chat. But I think this is like the best. And I've watched like Eddie Hearn's like, you know, live streams, you know, on Matchroom's channel. You know, when there's like a little workout going on. And I think this live chat section is the best, you know, in boxing. So that's quite good, isn't it? ID Boxing is good. Yeah, I watched them the other day. I think it was Carl Froch who got interviewed. Let me just quickly play that. Not all of it. I'm just going to play like the end of it because the end of it was quite good. He was like dissing Joshua, and it's good to see.
This is Andy Farwell for ID Boxing. I'm joined by the newly inducted member of the International Boxing Hall of Fame, Carl Froch. Carl, congratulations on that. But we're here in Leeds. Just initially, just your reaction to Josh Warrington's loss tonight.
I think Josh Warrington was hard done to. I had him winning a very, very close fight. I thought being champion here at home, it shouldn't make a difference that he's champion and he's at home. But I just thought the way it was going, the vibe, the fight, I thought he won. It was close fight. I thought Lopez was very good, very skillful, technical.
Yeah, I didn't do a video about that fight, did I?
I think Warrington did enough to keep his title.
Good fight.
On that note, most people obviously around you thought that Lopez had done enough to maybe nick it. So what in particular did you feel that Josh had done which made him the victor in your eyes?
I don't know how well you know me, but I think, you know, I don't care about anyone else's opinion because it makes no odds to me. So,
not enough.
What I just said. I thought Warrington won the fight. I scored it 116-112 in favour of Warrington in some very close rounds that could have probably gone either way. But I've got to stand by my conviction. I thought Warrington did enough to win.
Lee Wood, somebody you know well, would you still be open to seeing him versus Josh Warrington without Josh holding a title now?
Absolutely, I think it's a great fight. I mean, it's a tricky, hard, horrible fight for anybody. So if Lee Wood can potentially get somebody to put a world title on the line and bring more marbles to the game, if you like, then why not? I mean, I don't think I'd be giving Josh Warrington a mandatory. A voluntary. But he deserves one after that. He really does.
Oh, just a couple just to quickly get in there before you shoot off.
So, Josh Warrington boxed Kid Gallard a few years ago. Barry, Kid Gallard got 600 grand, yeah. The money that he made from boxing, Barry, he's bought about 6 houses in Sheffield. You know, that he rents out to people. So he's getting like passive income, you know, from renting out these properties that he's bought, you know, with his boxing money. So some people say Barry's gone downhill, got knocked out by Kiko Martinez, fucking Maxi Hughes beat him. You know what I mean? But Barry's still kind of like a landlord. He's renting out different properties, you know, and getting like passive income. So yeah, I just thought about it, you know, when he's talking about Josh Warrington.
Just want to get your words on being inducted into the International Boxing Hall of Fame and what that meant to you.
I think it's amazing. It means a lot to me. I mean, I think I've had an amazing career, back-to-back world titles against the best fighters in the division. I didn't win them all, but I lost to Kessler and avenged that loss. And then all the other wins I've had against top fighters like Jean Pascal, who went on to dominate light heavyweight division and become a world champion at that division. And then fighters that have gone on, people that I beat that have gone on to win world titles, and undefeated fighters. I've took their zero. Top fighters, Olympians, top amateurs coming forward, unbeaten pros.
I don't know if he's on coke. I don't know. He's like a little wind-up guy though, isn't he, Carl Froch? You know, dropping 80,000 in there every minute. So I think when he does interviews, I think he like deliberately does all that business.
I think it's amazing. It means a lot to me.
You know what I mean? Because a video of him went viral, you know, when he looked coked up.
Career, back-to-back world titles against the best fighters in the division. I didn't win them all, but I lost to Kessler and avenged that loss. And then all the other wins I've had against top fighters like Jean Pascal, who went on to dominate light heavyweight division and become a world champion at that division. And then fighters that have gone on, people that I beat that have gone on to win world titles, and undefeated fighters. I've took their zero. Top fighters, Olympians, top amateurs.
I'd love to have a pint with him. I keep having dreams about him. No homo. I dream that I bump into him in knots. I just want to have a pint with him. He's got that dry sense of humour. We're both from knots, you know what I mean? We used to train in the same amateur gym. I went back to his house after a training session and we were sat down watching boxing, yeah? I was about 18 at the time. He was about 24. And we were sat down chilling, watching boxing, yeah? And then his brother Lee, the alcoholic Frotch, like walked in from the pub, and he was a bit drunk in it, and he said to Carl, "What's he doing here?" You know, and he pointed at me like, "What's he doing? What? Yeah, man, what's he doing here?" That's what he said, Lee, the alcoholic Frotch. You know, when he came in from the pub. So yeah, I like Carl Frotch, but I don't know, he's a bit sensitive in this. So I think he wants beef with me. He rang up Dominic Ingle, you know, complaining about my video when I was talking about his wife. Well, come on, man.
It's just coming forward, unbeaten pros. I fought all of them. I'm not going to go through. Have a look through my record from John Pascal.
Yeah. I want to get to the Joshua bit, to be honest. I want to see that bit. Come on.
Tyson Fury's victory against Derek Chisora. What did you make of that and the potential Fury Usyk undisputed bout next year?
I thought Derek Chisora played his part, but it wasn't good enough. Nobody is for Tyson Fury. And what was your second question?
Potential Fury Usyk undisputed bout next year.
Yeah, I don't think Usyk's big enough. I think it'd be a great fight to watch, but I don't think it's big enough. I think Fury's too good, too big and too strong.
Final one, Carl. Anthony Joshua, somebody you know well. He obviously split with Rob McCracken, went with Angel Fernandez, Robert Garcia. He's still wanting to go around training with different people. What would be your advice to Anthony Joshua?
I've got absolutely nothing to say about Anthony Joshua at all.
Fair enough, Carl. Thank you.
See you later, mate.
He ain't got any earlobes at all, has he, Carl? But yeah. What do you think of that? He said that a few times in a few interviews. I think sometimes he's like a wind-up guy, and he talks like that about Jake Paul, Conor McGregor, this person, that person, the Skype wanker, Calzaghe, Andre Ward. You know, he's always having a little, 80,000 at Wembley. That's what he said to Mayweather. So I don't know if he hates Joshua, but it might be because Joshua left Robert McCracken, and Robert McCracken was at Carl Froch's wedding. They're good mates, aren't they? And when what happened? Carl Froch got inducted into the Hall of Fame, and he rang up Robert McCracken, saying, "Yeah, I got in the Hall of Fame." And he said he rang him like straight away, because he's been there from the beginning, Robert McCracken. So obviously Joshua fucked him off. Joshua's searching the fucking world looking for a trainer. He was a bit disloyal to Rob McCracken, but it's business, isn't it? But what I'm saying is, yeah, man, that was a good video. ID boxing. Right, where's that? Let me just read this super chat. I've missed a super chat, while I was playing that video. Let me just scroll back. Right. Yeah, man, this guy. Who is a bigger home wrecker? Ali Drew for sleeping with Calzaghe and White, or Hor Phelps for going with Khan, Malignaggi and Porter? I don't know. I think you're making it up. Ali Drew for sleeping with Calzaghe and Dillian White. I don't think they're like two different ends of the spectrum, Calzaghe and Dillian White. But in a way they're not, because they both got money. They both got a bit of status. And that's attractive to women, innit? So yeah, that Ali Drew. Yeah. What else did he say? Hor Phelps fucked Khan, Malignaggi and Porter. No, I don't know about that. I don't know. She thinks she's J-Lo, don't she? Hor Phelps. She thinks she's above it. So, bro, she thinks she deserves like an Andrew Tate type or someone like me. You know what I mean? She's arrogant. So I don't think she'd have fucked the Skype wanker or Malignaggi. Yes, Brendan Divine. Thanks for the super chat, yeah? Your Ty, Merry Christmas. How long do you think Joshua can duck Fury? And do you think McGregor can make a comeback? How long will Joshua duck Fury? I don't know, man. Fury's got bipolar, so it's like he switches every minute. So, I don't know how hard it is, to negotiate with someone who's got bipolar. I told you about that woman who wanted to meet me in a hotel. And we were chatting normally, and then she just switched on me saying, "Oh, you're taking me for an idiot. Do you think I'm a fucking mug or something? You're treating me like a mug." I was like, what the fuck are you on about? We was just talking normally just a minute ago. Now he's switching up on me. And she's done it a few times, innit? Where we've been chatting normally. And then she just switches. So people who got bipolar, they're hard to deal with. So that might be the case with Tyson Fury, innit? Yes. Who is the big... Oh, I've already read that shit, man. What are you doing? Someone else gave me a super chat. Who was it? Right, let me pin this shit to the top of the screen. Right, so pin. Oh, I don't know, I can't do it. I'm trying to put him in. Show the other super chat. Have I missed a super chat or something? This guy, yeah, he asked about Conor McGregor as well. Do you think McGregor can make a comeback? Well, he's always going to have fans in here who will tune in. I think he fucked his leg up. I don't know, man. I don't really follow him like that. I like him, though. He's a good marketer, isn't he? I should have tried to be like him, you know, when I was boxing. Let me scroll back. Who is bigger, Rat? Drew. Carzo. You said this already, haven't you? Yeah, man. Thanks for the super chat, though. Seeing if I missed anything. I'm going to wrap it up. 2.5 hours. You fucking mad. Dragging it out. Got a bottle of vodka in the fridge. So I'm going to fucking wrap this up and then I'm going to chill out, drink the vodka, learn how to set up that Amigo, talk to some women, you know, on the next live, and then, yeah, man, try and step it up. But thanks for the super chats, yeah, thanks for tuning in, and I'll see you lot soon. It's been good, man. I've enjoyed myself. Be safe, yeah.